How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to do a review on this, the Epiphone Fire Cat or Flame Cat or Wild Cat, whatever you want to call it. I think it's called the Flame Cat. The reason I'm doing this review is I'm not going to have this guitar forever. It doesn't originally belong to me. It belongs to my good friend Sean Israel, and it was given to him by another fellow by the name of Chester Prompkin. And it was given to Sean. It was broken. It sat in his room throughout my high school years for 4 years, and then it sat in his room through my college years. So another 4 years, so 8 years this guitar sat. And then finally Sean agreed to give it to me on the condition that I fixed it, and I have to give it back to him. So I fixed it. Now it works. It's still missing a couple outside things on it, like some of the knobs are still missing. But the guitar works and it sounds great. The other reason I'm doing this review is that I looked everywhere for a review on YouTube, a video review, not a whatever one of these reviews that someone gets mad and just types a bunch of stuff. I didn't see a video review of this guitar. I did see some videos of people just wailing on them, but not talking about what they do. And so maybe I'll be the first one, since I got this matching strap to match these flames. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the specs. I'm going to talk about the year of this guitar and where it was manufactured and what does that mean, and then just talk about the sound and play it a little bit so you can really get to know this instrument, because it's a very rare guitar. There aren't very many of them. In fact, this is the only one I've ever seen. You can find them on eBay for about $500, $600, I don't know exactly, but there aren't very many of them. So starting off, it's a version of Epiphone Wildcat, which they do still make today. And it's a semi-hollow guitar, which means that there's a piece of wood inside of here that stops it from feeding back like crazy, and it's not as thick as an acoustic guitar like many other, or like many hollow body guitars there are. I want to start with the finish too. This is pretty much what you're paying for on this guitar. I'm pretty sure this guitar new was $700 or $800, whereas the regular Wildcat, without this crazy paint on it, was only $300 or $400, maybe $500, and it still had this Bigsby. And the other Firecats that didn't have this paint had P90 pickups, which are a little different from these, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. This guitar was made in Korea. It was made between 2000 and 2005, so it's over 10 years old. This one's in good condition, besides some minor electronic things I had to fix. Some high points on this guitar. Everyone I always show this guitar to really likes the dice. If you can see those dice over there, and then if you look on the fingerboard, there's dice. And if you add those dice up together, it's really neat. They're what number fret it is. So, for example, there's 2 6s, and that's 12. That's 12th fret right there. So that's cool. Take a look at the headstock. It's metal. It says Epiphone on it. Truss rod cover says Gibson. They were doing that for a little while. They would put Gibson on the Epiphone guitars. Here's the body. Those mini humbuckers. And when I took it apart, I put the neck humbucker backwards just because I thought it looked cool. It really doesn't affect the sound a whole lot at all, at least not to my ears. And so this knob over here is not original. It came from a Squire, or from a First Act, I should say. This one was also not original. They were just knobs I had laying around. And this also had a dice on it, and that's missing too. I don't think I'll ever be able to find a dice unless I make one that will fit on this. So these are mini humbuckers, which are exactly what they are. They're small humbuckers. Gibson had them on some of their guitars in the 70s. They're really uncommon, except for the Firebird series guitars. They are notorious for having mini humbucker guitars, and they're really what you would expect. They're small humbuckers. They're a little bit thinner sound. I mean, there's just less magnetic area than a regular humbucker. So they have a thinner, a little bit brighter sound, a little squealier, not as bold as a regular humbucker. So if I had to make a comparison, it sounds a little bit more like a Telecaster just because there's two of them. This is a big selling point of this guitar and other Wildcats is the Bigsby tremolo unit. You know, it looks cool. It is a mild, very mild tremolo. You can't really do any dive bombs or anything crazy like that, but you can make some nice, make your chords sound really nice if you know what you're doing. Real pain in the butt to change the strings on. I've struggled. I've had 3 other guitars before this one, sold all of them that had Bigsby's on them. I just couldn't deal with it. Lucky this one came into my hands. I didn't pay anything for it. So I deal with the Bigsby on this one. And I changed the strings when I was fixing it. I haven't changed since, but they still have a lot of life on it because I really don't play this guitar a lot. Talk about what this guitar is made out of. These necks, I mean, this neck is made out of mahogany, like most Gibson and Epiphone guitars are. Body, I'm pretty sure, is mahogany. Could be laminate, which is just small pieces of wood glued together. Really doesn't make a big difference on this guitar because it is a hollow body. But yeah, I think that's what it's made out of. It might have a maple top or something weird, so they got this. They could get this paint on it. I mean, standard 2-pneumatic bridge. We got the old school vintage style tuners, if you can see that. Yeah, they're like these, if you can see the back. They got those vintage style, and here in this gold right here, it says made in Korea, which apparently someone's dad and some other people have told me Korea are the golden years of Epiphone. Except for especially the ones that were Epiphone before Gibson purchased them, or whatever the story is. Apparently Korean Gibsons and Korean Epiphones are great. I have this Epiphone and an Epiphone bass. I like them. I don't know. I don't really know what the deal is with where they come from, what difference it makes, but whatever. Really interesting thing about this guitar is how it is wired. And I'm not talking about this switch here. This is just a normal 3-way switch, which is actually very uncommon for Gibson and Epiphone style guitars, but it's just like a Telecaster, like neck, both pickups in parallel, and then we got bridge. That's, I mean, easy as that. But what's really interesting is the knobs and what they do, how they are set up, and very, very useful actually. So this is your only tone knob. It's your master tone, and that's why I kind of paired these two as the same kind of knob, because these are your master knobs, and they control your overall tone and overall volume, no matter what these two are set as. Over here, the dice, and I paired these two dice just because they both have similar functions. So this one over here controls the volume of the bridge pickup, and this one controls the volume of the neck pickup, and you can do it individually. So if you have it, if you turn your master all the way up, right, you leave this one at 10, you can split your volumes just like a Les Paul or something. Like you can have this one at 10 and then this one at 4 or something, so you can switch to rhythm by switch to a lower volume for rhythm. Go to the 4 volume, and then you can switch up here to the neck, which is at 10 for soloing. And you know, you can get all Tom Morello if you want, and turn this one at 0, turn this one at 10, and do the kill switch thing, which a lot of guys like to do. I think it's cool. I don't really do it a whole lot, but it's something you can do with this guitar. So yeah, I mean, it's a standard Epiphone, really. You won't find anything too crazy on this guitar that you won't find on some other Epiphones. I don't really play this guitar a whole lot, like I said. Not because it's not a good guitar. I mean, it's set up great. The neck is one of the straightest necks I've seen on a guitar. You adjust the truss rod from up here like Gibsons usually do. It's not particularly heavy. It's pretty light. It doesn't feed back that much, but you can get it to feedback, which is something I do really like about it. I like using feedback. It's got a 24-inch scale, which is what Gibsons usually do. That means it's shorter neck than Fender. I really can't think of anything else spec-wise on this guitar. I mean, It's got a jack over here. The back doesn't have paint on it. No one ever sees the back when you're playing on stage, doesn't matter. So yeah, it's a looking guitar. I mean, it sounds good. I mean, it's got kind of a dull sound to it. Like, these pickups aren't that good. I mean, they're not bad. They're not like cheapo Squire pickups or something, but they're just not very refined. And the tone knob doesn't do a whole lot. But then again, I'm used to playing Telecasters and Strats that I make, so I like really sensitive guitars. So now I'm going to shut up about what this guitar is. I'm going to play it a little bit. Maybe you can... There, to help if it was in tune. I'll play a little bit on clean. I'm going to play with my fingers, play a little bit with the pick. I didn't mic this amplifier to anything, so the quality probably won't be so good. You'll get a decent idea. I mean, it doesn't sound like it really doesn't sound too different from any Gibson you'll ever play. That's the bridge pickup at 10, and the tone knob is kind of at 7. Here's the neck pickup, same tone knob at 7. And you can get some jazz tones out of this. And again, I don't really play jazz. Here's both of the pickups in parallel. A little janglier. Now the tone knob's at 10. All the knobs are at 10 right now. Because that's the most sensitive I can get it. And I'm really kind of ripping the strings to get it to really get a clear sound, because it's very muddy. This is the bridge pickup again. Strumming a little bit hard on it. Yeah, see, I mean, if I go to the neck or the two pickups in series right now, I just get so much low end, I don't really like it. But that's my preference. So a lot of people out there are in search of this low end. So I'm not mocking it. It might have sounded like I was, but everyone likes other things. So I just turned the tone up on the amp a bit. Now I'm going to get some distortion sound, which this guitar actually, the flames must affect the sound, because when you turn the distortion on, I do really like the sound of it. Now for this I'm going to turn way down so I don't feedback like crazy, or get a bad tone through the little microphone that's on that camera. So this is the bridge pickup, everything at 10 again. And now I'll do a little Tom Morello stuff. I'm going to put the neck at 0. neck at 0. So here's some, you can do that kind of silly stuff. So here's the neck pickup, and this is a lot of guys like go straight to this when they play Gibsons, or again I say this stuff kind of silly, but I'm not mocking it. A lot of people like this kind of stuff. This is a neck pickup with the tone kind of rolled down, so it's very bassy. And I like this tone as well. Get some good surf action. Alright, let's see. Here's both pickups in parallel. See, maybe I can get a little jangle out of it. Oh yeah, I like that. So maybe that gives you a little idea about a flame cat. It's got good sustain. Alright, I'm not making this video to show off my playing. I was making this video just to teach a little bit about this guitar. So I don't think anyone I know is going to purchase this guitar, and if they do, I hope this video helped you make a decision. These guitars are kind of difficult to find. I mean, I've never seen another one in a store. The only one I saw was in my friend's bedroom, and it was in there for 8 years before I got a hold of it and fixed it. I can talk a little bit before I end the video about what I did to fix it. There was no wiring I had to do. Everything was connected, but the jack was misshapen, so I just took a screwdriver and kind of jammed it open a bit. I mean, you guitar techs, if you're watching this, you're going to be rolling your eyes or whatever. But I took a screwdriver and just bent the jack until the cable could fit in there, and now it's fine. I mean, there you go. It didn't have any knobs on it, and they were all inside of the guitar, like they had fallen off. So I had another little. Actually, now that I think about it, I have 3 Epiphones. I have a little Epiphone bass that I gave to my dad, and I had to sabotage that one to get a couple washers off of that one because I knew they would fit this, and so I had to pull out all the pots that were inside the guitar, tighten, put new washers on them, find knobs because these are the only 2 ones I had. So I had to sabotage my lovely first act. But whatever, I still like that guitar. That guitar never gets plugged in, so it doesn't even matter. And I had to take that contact cleaner stuff that you use for computers, you know, like, you know, I had to spray that everywhere. And this guitar was filthy. Like, now it looks really nice, I think, like it's all shiny and ooh, like it looks almost like a car or something. But it was covered in dirt and dust and grime and everything. So I completely took it apart, took out the pickups, took this off, took off the bridge, took this out, and just took some cleaner, guitar cleaner stuff, the magic stuff that they sell in the store, and just wiped it, and it was black. The cloth was black. It was disgusting. Cleaned the back of the neck, cleaned everything up. check the frets. All the frets are in good shape. I mean, this guitar must have been broken right when it was bought or something, because no one ever played the thing. I mean, the frets are in perfect shape, and the neck is completely straight. Like, the guitars I play don't have necks this straight, you know. But yeah, that's what I did to fix it. And now it's as good as new, and it's gonna run until someone smashes it, meaning me. Now, but I'm about to take it home. It's gonna go back to my guitar storage, aka my parents' house, where it will be sitting there until Mr. Sean Ezra returns from California, and I can give it to him. But yeah, Epiphone Flame Cat, 2000 to 2005. Thank you guys for watching. Hope this video taught you something about this guitar, and if not this guitar, something about guitars in general. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Thanks, guys.
Like those hit musicians with the complicated shoes.